In this video, I'm going to talk about the different investing strategies to grow your money in the stock market. So, pwede mong gamitin any of these strategies. So, whether you're investing in Philippine stocks or US stocks, so applicable ito sa lahat. So, first, paano nga ba kumikita sa stock? So, there are two ways to earn money by owning shares of stock. So, unang-una is through capital appreciation. So, capital appreciation is the increase in the share price of the stock na binili mo. So, you buy low and sell high or buy high, sell higher. The next is through dividends. So, whenever a company earns, they give a part of their earnings to their shareholders. So, usually dividends are distributed quarterly and it may be paid out as cash or in the form of stock because some companies nagbibigay sila ng stock as dividend that you can reinvest. Take note that stock market investments are not guaranteed. So, pwede kang mag-gain ng malaki. But there is also a probability na bumaba yung value ng iyong investment or even lose your investment. As with any investment, the more risk you take, the higher the chances to gain, but the higher the potential to lose. So, high risk, high reward. So, ganun talaga yon. Alright, so now I'll talk about the different investing strategies. So, pwede kang pumili ng strategy that can work for you and then stick with it and then do your investing. The first one is value investing. So, value investing is a strategy for identifying undervalued stock based on fundamental analysis. So, Warren Buffett, I'm sure kilala siya ng karamihan, is perhaps the most popular na value investor at si Benjamin Graham, yung mentor ni Warren Buffett at author din ng librong The Intelligent Investor. Sa value investing, you purchase quality companies based on fundamental analysis at a good price. And then hold mo yung stocks for the long term. So buy and hold siya. So i-buy and hold mo yung stock. So but not forever Kasi syempre pag tumas na yung value at kumita ka na, malaki na yung kinita mo, so pwede mo na siyang ibenta. It's a passive approach to investing, pero syempre need mo rin i-monitor mga once a month or every 2 months. So value investors are long-term investors and they pick great companies that they believe will still be here 10, 20, 30 years from now or more. So in other words, mga matitibay na company. The basic concept ng value investing is if you know the true value of something, you can save a lot of money when you buy it on sale. So, for example, meron kang gustong TV na bilhin. So, whether you buy the TV on sale or at a full price, you're getting the same TV with the same brand, same quality. Ganon din sa stock. So, the company's stock price can change even when the company's value has remained the same. Like TV, stocks can go through periods of higher and lower demand. Kaya nagkakaroon ng price fluctuations. But what you're getting for your money is the same. Yun lang, unlike TVs, hindi mo alam kung kailan magkakaroon ng sale sa stocks kasi hindi naman nila ina-advertise. Karamihan ng mga value investors ay gumagamit ng metrics to find stocks they believe are undervalued. So, ang pinaka-popular ay ang PE ratio or price to earning ratio. So, divide mo yung current stock price by the earnings per share. A high PE could indicate that the stock's price is high relative to earnings and possibly overvalued. Tapos pag low PE naman, it might indicate that the current stock price is low relative to earnings and possibly undervalued. So typically stocks with PE ratio of below 15 are considered cheap and then above 20 naman are considered expensive. Depending on your market view of the market, expensive isn't necessarily bad. Like ngayon, bumibili ako ng Apple stocks kasi bumababa yung price. So, ang PE niya ngayon nasa 25 and dati nasa 38 or even higher. So, since mas mababa yung price ngayon, bumibili ako. Take note that PE ratio has some limitations. A company's earnings are based on either historical earnings or forward earnings, so which are based on the opinions of analysts. Earnings can be hard to predict kasi yung past earnings don't guarantee future results. Tapos yung expectations naman ng analyst ay pwede ring mali. Important to note, PE ratios are useful for comparing companies within the same industry. So, hindi mo pwede compare yung companies in different industries. Next is yung price to book ratio or PB ratio. So, divide mo yung stock price by its book value per share. So, PB ratio measures whether a stock is over or undervalued. So, i-compare mo yung net value, so assets minus liabilities ng company to its market capitalization. So, kung ang PB ratio niya ay 0.95 or 1.1, it means the stock is trading at nearly book value. And to a value-seeking investor, so syempre preferred nila yung mas mababa. For example, zero point 0.5, a PB ratio of zero point 0.5 for them is attractive because it implies that the market value is one half of the company's book value. The third one is debt to equity ratio. The debt to equity ratio or DE ratio is the measurement between a company's total debt and total equity. It tells you how much a debt company uses to finance its operations. For example, if a company has a debt to equity ratio of 1.5, then meron siyang $1.5 na utang for every $1 of equity. So a low debt to equity ratio means the company uses lower amount of debt for financing versus their shareholder equity. However, please take note that the debt to equity ratio can vary from industry to industry. So a high debt equity ratio does not necessarily mean that the company is run poorly. There are some industries with a lot of fixed assets such as yung auto and construction industry. So typically, mas mataas yung debt to equity ratio nila compared to other companies in other industries. So what is a good debt to equity ratio? It actually varies by industry. Pero yung general consensus is that it should not be above 2.0. But for value investors, so usually mas gusto nila yung below 1.5. Actually, yung target nila based dun sa seminar na na-attend ko noon about value investing. So, sobrang conservative, 0.5. Debt to equity ratio is often associated with risk. A higher ratio suggests higher risk and that the company is financing its growth with debt. However, when a company is in its growth phase, a high DE ratio might be necessary for that growth. Sa ngayon, maraming undervalued stocks kasi bumagsak yung stocks nung nagka-pandemic nung 2020, tapos hindi pa nakakabawi, biglang nagkaroon naman ng Ukraine-Russia war. So, nagfa-fluctuate yung stock price, taas baba. Pero pwede kang makahanap ng mga undervalued stock. Next strategy is growth investing. So, growth investing, so ang focus nito is to increase the value of your investment. Okay, so dito growth investors are often looking for the next big thing. So usually ito yung mga malilit na companies whose earnings are expected to grow rapidly compared to the overall market. The smaller companies may have the potential to grow, leading to a rapid increase in the price of the stock. However, mas risky and it may lead to a significant loss in your investment. Growth investing is riskier and is dependent on economic conditions because growth companies are generally smaller and younger companies. Syempre, mas malaki yung likelihood na mabankrupt kaysa sa mga value companies. Kasi blue chip stock has lower risk of loss but the potential for gain naman is also lower. And blue chip stock has been around for many years, so less chance not to fail than stocks in small companies. Next strategy is momentum investing. Momentum investing is a more active approach to investing. So it is a strategy in which investors buy stocks on uptrend and then sell when the stocks start to lose momentum. The main rationale behind momentum investing is that once a trend is well established, it will likely continue. Momentum investing is a technical trading strategy. Kailangan marunong ka ng technical analysis bago mo magamit ang strategy na ito. Usually, ang technical indicators na ginagamit nila ay trend lines and moving averages. So, maghahanap sila ng patterns sa stock prices na magiging guide nila kung kailan sila bibili ng stock. Medyo complicated ang topic na technical analysis, so need a separate video for this topic. Momentum investing is among the riskiest strategies. But if you do it right, then syempre mas malaki yung gain mo in a shorter period of time. Hindi siya based on fundamental analysis. So, technical trading strategy siya. So, ang tawag nila dito ay speculation. Number four is my favorite strategy. Ito ay ang dividend investing. So ito, bibili ka ng mga stocks that pay dividends in order to receive a regular income stream from your investments. So in addition to dun sa capital appreciation ng stock na nasa portfolio mo. Okay, so ang dividend companies are known to be stable companies with consistent earnings. Kaya kaya nilang mag-reward ng dividends sa kanilang mga shareholders regularly. So sa Philippines, so mataas ang dividend ng Meralco, PLDT, Globe, Aboitiz, San Miguel, and Metrobank. You can use your dividends to buy more shares instead of taking them as cash. So, i-reinvest mo na lang. So, all stock investments carry risk. And malaking risk dito is the potential to lose the money that you invest. So, to manage risk, kailangan mo i-diversify ang iyong portfolio. Bumili ka ng stocks from different industry. Thank you for watching and I'll see you in my next video.